Hey, what's up? We're kind of in this like divey food truck area today. So we wanted to shoot a little bit of content whenever we come out for these food reviews. Why do I do food reviews? Number one, I love food. I'm a total foodie. Number two, we have a ranking website that we've been building to rank the top like restaurants in the area from like a local. And then number three, I'm arguably one of the pickiest people you've ever met when it comes to food. So really particular, but I also think I can give a little bit of value to anybody watching these food reviews where I can compare it really well and hopefully using really good descriptions help you sort of figure out if you even want to go try that business. So while we were out here, what we're going to always do whenever we do one of these reviews is we're going to hit some of the business questions that we get through our channels. For those of you that don't know, my name is Daniel. We own an Amazon management company. We own a wholesale supplier. We own a housekeeping company and a few more businesses. These questions today are going to be related to the Amazon business. Here we go. Pulling it up right now. Why do I have to get ungated? I don't understand. If I was able to purchase the product, why won't Amazon let me sell it? Great question. In fact, I think that's the number one most Googled question regarding Amazon. I can tell you, we help manage over 160 stores right now. It's the same for everybody. The best way I can explain it to you is when you start a store, because really anyone with an ID and an address can start an Amazon Seller Central account. Amazon doesn't know a couple of things. It doesn't know if you're buying authentic product. And as you might imagine, Amazon's brand fidelity really matters to them. They want their customers to receive great products in good condition. They don't know if you're shipping those things because they don't open every box. Especially if you do Amazon FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, you're going to be shipping things into their warehouse and they are delivering it to the customer with their name on it. So in order to prevent a few things, Amazon holds products behind a gate. That gate opens more easily the longer you're on the platform, the more successful transactions with either good reviews or not bad ones, and the longer you've been on the platform, the more revenue that you have. So transactions, revenue, time, and then successful transactions meaning good reviews. So that being said, the only thing Amazon can do to combat that is a few things. They'll give you, and this is unwritten, a lot of this, and that's why it's hard to find because they don't really write this down, but there does seem to be a 90-day either ramp up, some people call it, or a probationary period, some people call it, where because you are 100% risk to Amazon, they don't open you up to a big, wide range of their customers. They keep your velocity, sales velocity restricted, because if they just put you on platform and opened you up to everyone that can sell, if you were a bad actor, that would expose them to more risk. So in the beginning, it's very, very tight. So you won't see a ton of sales velocity in the beginning, typically speaking. And that prevents people from stealing items from containers and trucks at the port and flipping them or fencing them on Amazon. Because if you have a bunch of hot product in your hand that's stolen, you're going to want to liquidate that before 90 days is up. So what we see is a restriction of that sales velocity in order to prevent that. Number two, if you are going to be taking products that are meant for the Philippines or Germany or somewhere else with a less favorable exchange rate, buying products from those markets and importing them into the US and selling them in the markets, believe it or not, manufacturers have certain types of products that are meant for certain types of markets. So that's one way that unscrupulous Amazon sellers try to increase their margins is by buying products that are meant for a cheaper market and selling them into the US market. And that's one of the reasons why Amazon requires you to ungate. They want to make sure that you have the product, at least 10 minimum order quantity of that product, and then they'll ask you to prove that, and then they'll give you permission. I think the other thing Amazon's doing is it's kind of load balancing how many sellers are on every listing. As you might imagine, the more sellers on a listing, the further that price will plummet as more and more sellers want to get out of that position as there's more supply. It's just supply and demand. So they're load balancing for the health of their stores. Ultimately, if you're an authentic seller, these are good measures that Amazon's taking. We're not scared of them, but you do need to do it right because you don't get that many bites at the apple. If you can't prove your chain of custody, if you can't prove that you have the goods, if you're not organized, what I would recommend is either hiring a consultant like Riverbend Consulting. We pay for a consultant that helps us know more about Amazon. And keep in mind, we're managing hundreds of stores and we have 7 years on the platform and we're still learning every day. So don't be discouraged. We also have a product called the Amazon Blueprint that you can buy. It teaches you most of what we know or most of what would be relevant to a new seller, but that is the answer of why. That's why you have to get ungated. You got to prove to Amazon you're not drop shipping. You got to prove to Amazon you have a good chain of custody, and they are load balancing people in the listing, which is why you can apply 1 month and get denied, and then apply 4 months later and get accepted. It could be a situation, or reverse is true. You could apply and get accepted and then get denied that listing later. So those are the reasons, and actually there's a handful more, but they're so niche we don't need to cover them here. That's the basic answer. Hopefully that helps.